Okay, I'm back. So this is part 2 of my MCDungeon tutorial. It shouldn't be very long though, so now that you've let MCDungeon run for a while and it's finished, you should see something that looks like this, and you'll see somewhere that it placed a certain number of dungeons. In this case, it's 15. In a previous attempt, it was 18, but that should be plenty for a single person to play around with. If it failed, it'll say so, and it won't run very long generally. So now that we're done with that, and let's go look at our newly generated dungeons. Okay, so we have a dungeon right next to where we spawned. Take our stuff. And the torches. Torches are definitely needed for dungeons. So the first thing you should know about each of these dungeons is that there's going to be a chest to the surface with some very basic materials. You'll also find a map. The recent version of MCDungeon adds one of these maps, and it's hard to say whether it's actually a map of this dungeon. So let's go down, despite that I don't actually have any weapons. So there's already a chest there. Let's use the axe to fight this spider. Let's disable the spider spawner. So MCDungeon will have generated several spawners. This may be useful for if you're using a mod where you would need to find spawners. Another neat feature about MCDungeon is that there are hidden rooms as well as traps to loot. And some of them have potions. Like splash potions of slowness. Occasionally you'll, on a very rare occasion, find explosives underneath these. And there's actually a way to increase the frequency of them occurring, but I wouldn't suggest it because those traps get set off not just by you, but by every mob who walks over them. So you'll find your dungeons are destroyed by hostile mobs treading over explosives meant for you. Right, so I think I've gone in a circle, so I should go this way probably. It's hard to say. It is a randomly generated map, so it's difficult to tell where the way down is. Of course you could just jump, but I'd rather not. These maps are a nice place to find glowstone occasionally. They're not in very large quantities. You're going to want it in this kind of room. Look at the walls for buttons. So here's the way down. This is what I was looking for, and this is about near the end of how far I'm going to go with this tutorial. Just kill this zombie. And there's a creeper. So these dungeons are also nice places to find wool early on and to get experience without having to grind. And I've already found this spawner the other way down. So there are also going to be these rooms with lava on the floor. Oh, and wow. I just bumbled into a sand trap. In a more recent version, you also have those archers, which makes these sand traps slightly more effective. Okay, well I'm dying, so let's run away. And I'm dead. Okay, so that's really not how to do one of these dungeons, but so now you can just see how interesting these dungeons can be, especially since when you generate this many at the beginning of a new save, you get an insane number of dungeons. I mean, there are 15 of them. And because there were no structures, I mean, you can get pretty far just by going into these dungeons. And they vary depending on your biome too. Well, that's about it for today, so enjoy.